Author and life coach Mark Neff recently published a book called Diving into Darkness to Find the Light. In the book, Mark discusses how he faced many of life's tough issues. So we've been breaking it down chapter by chapter. And today we're going to discuss tragic or sudden loss. Hi, Mark. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We have your book here this morning. I just was flipping through it earlier and I already learned a ton just by looking at a couple of pages of this.
Oh, perfect.
Some of this came out of you because you lost your brother in a tragic car accident 4 years ago. And at that point, you were 1 month sober. Bring us back to that time and how you handled that loss.
Well, I think any loss is tragic, but sudden loss can, feel a little bit more overwhelming because it happens so fast. So only being a month sober and dealing with that, I knew I had to lean into the emotions of what was coming versus running away from them. And that is what was going to keep me sober and also allow me to process the loss.
And what did you learn about yourself at that time? Because through tragedy, a lot of times it can be an opportunity for growth.
Absolutely. I think we're all a lot stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And I think when you experience something like that, I realized that, it was something I was going to deal with the rest of my life. So at that point, I had the opportunity to lay the foundation of, setting myself up for success during this whole process.
You're kind of describing the grieving process because it's not like you grieve and then you're over it. As you were just saying, it's for the rest of your life. So what did you learn about grief and the grieving process, which you'll be going through for the rest of your days?
Yeah, I think we have the misconception that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to grieving, but it's something that we are going to deal with the rest of our life. And some days it can be really, really ugly, and other days it can be really beautiful. So I think you just have to embrace whatever you're feeling at that moment, process those emotions, and then be ready for what happens next.
Okay, so that's part of what's in your book, but I flipped to page 96 and I loved this one, and this is relevant for me. It's basically 2 pages, this chapter, and it says, work, 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 live, 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 work, 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 live, live, live. And then it ends with, see a pattern as a society. Are we out of balance? Question mark. So this is something that particularly for Americans is a difficult thing to find, that work-life balance. So what are we out of balance? What do we need to do?
Well, I think the magic is, and I've spoken about this several times on our segments, is you have to carve out a little bit of still time. And even if that's only a couple minutes a day, that will help your mind and your body start to achieve that balance.
Okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot. I am mindful of it. And I guess, that's really kind of the first step is to be aware that you are out of balance, because sometimes we just feel anxiety and pressure and stress and we can't really pinpoint it. It's just like I woke up again today and I feel this way. So that's kind of the first thing that you can do is recognize it.
Absolutely, yes. And I think we've become a society that busyness is a badge of honor. We don't have to be this busy all the time. We can take time for ourselves. So give yourself permission to take that time as well.
I was reading another article recently about this very issue, and I read this term that I'd never heard of before. It was called toxic productivity. And after I thought about it for a moment, I'm like, that's me. I can't sit still. If I have even a free moment, I'm up unloading the dishwasher or doing another load of laundry or making a work call at 6:30 at night, which who should be doing that, right? So it's
Absolutely.
it's a challenge. All right. Well, do you have any last words of advice for either those suffering a recent loss or somebody who's trying to achieve a work-life balance?
Yeah, I'd say give yourself permission to take care of yourself. And when you need alone time, take the alone time. But when you need to support a family, friends, and counselors, coaches, be sure to lean on those folks as well. And that'll certainly help you get through difficult times in your life.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We have your book right here. As I was just pointing out, it is a quick and interesting read. Where can folks go for more information and to get a copy of your book?
You can go to Amazon.com.
All right, thanks so much, Mark Neff, Diving into Darkness to Find the Light.